Welcome to the Go In with your boy DJ Sterl The Pearl. Another episode. Give us some information. Get some information to you. And today our interviewee is no other than the one and only Trina Gallman. Hi, Trina. I mean, we inside. You see her face. She got her shades on. She wears her sunglasses at night and inside and inside.
I felt the need to come in really cool, but I'm going to take these off so that you all can see. You can see into my eyes.
Yeah, please. Your eyes. Oh, your eyes. Please let me see your eyes, Trina. And let my audience see your eyes. So now we're in on the Go In. Whoa.
What's up? What's up?
I mean, the coolest C-suite lady at TVA we got in the world. Talk to me more. Talk to me about your position at TVA, Trina.
Let me put a... I am not in the C-suite.
I say C-suite.
I'm not in the C-suite,
Okay.
but I am an individual contributor. So I'm proud about TVA.
Yes.
So my title is Public and Community Engagement. And it's pretty much just that. I get the opportunity to just engage, impact, and help just TVA's mission of serving the people of the Valley. So some of the things that I get to do, I get to be responsible for our volunteerism initiatives. By virtue of what we do,
Okay.
you have local power companies that have to pay us for services. So the communication side, the relational side is really just serving in totality. So again, reliability with power and services, affordability, but bodies showing up. So it does matter how we show up in the community. So my job allows us to do some of the fun things with volunteerism, contributions, some of our partnerships. We have a partnership with the food banks. We have a partnership so that we are able to support teachers with STEM grants that they can take and foster projects within their classroom. So those are just some of the things that I do within our organization, but those are the things that I am most proud about.
Well, see, those are TVA. When you say TVA, people never think they do those things.
Absolutely.
People think TVA, man, they got KUB getting power for them, and I got to pay KUB. Thinking all that situation, they would never think all the actual outreach that happens with a powerful company like TVA and creating a position like yours, which I think should be. So I still maybe think about it. I think they should do it. But anyway, tell me more about different partnerships, especially with the food banks. How does TVA come with the food banks? How does that work?
So Feeding America is the national organization. And of course, here in our backyard, we have Second Harvest out in Maryville.
Right.
So, of course, we work through Second Harvest to actually impact and touch food banks that are linked under that Feeding America umbrella so that they are able to get contributions and dollars to actually help support their initiative.
Okay.
But not only do we support through contributions, we support through volunteer service. So, organizations like Second Harvest, like Feeding America, they rely on volunteers to get their mission across. So TVA is 10,000 employees. Imagine if one employee did several hours of volunteer work to just that one initiative, the impact that we would make. So we show up through contributions, but we also show up. So whether that is going out to one of the food banks across our service territory, and we're in 7 states. So if that is showing up at one of those food banks within the different territories, sorting food, working at mobile food banks, just making sure that, like I said, their mission gets accomplished with ensuring that no one goes hungry or to eliminate hunger across our area.
With a person like yourself, Trina, being born and raised in Knoxville, product of Knoxville, and being some time being seasoned in the area, does this job seem hard for you? Does it make it easier with some of the people you may know and relate on such a position?
So I will say I'm a multi-potentialite, and y'all can look that up. But when you look that up, you'll learn a lot of and around the mulberry bush. But when I think about my career, the careers that I've had, all of them actually relate to people. Are they relapse?
Well, let's pause right there. Because what I want everybody to understand is that, this position that Ms. Goldman has with TVA is an incredible position. It's a position that you wouldn't think a company like TVA would have in its fold. And it's not easy to obtain a position. So let's talk about your journey to a position like this. Tell me more about the jobs you've had in the past to get to this awesome opportunity.
So what I will say is, and I'm going to start from the beginning.
Go.
So in high school, I was really good in math and science. And during that time, all teachers said, you need to be an engineer.
Yeah.
Had no idea what an engineer did, but I was like, okay, sounds good. And they were like, and you'll make good money being an engineer.
Correct.
So I graduated. And I graduated and obtained a 4-year scholarship to the University of Tennessee in engineering.
Okay.
So the transition from high school to college was hard for me. So high school came very easy.
Right.
I was, I graduated in the top 5. I didn't have to do a whole lot of studying. But when I graduated and I made that transition, what I realized and discovered is I didn't have really good study habits.
Different game in college. Different game.
Totally different game in college. So mind you, me being an engineering major, they immediately start you off into core classes. I think the easiest class I had as a freshman was music appreciation.
Hey, I had it as a junior.
So now mind you, you're taking all of these classes your freshman year. Yeah. So in my mind, I just graduated from high school. I want to kick it. I want to hang out. And it was kind of the beginning of the Freaknik era, or some of that Freaknik era. So I wanted
those of you that don't know, Google it.
Yes. So I wanted to hang with things. Right. But also at the core, I wasn't a really good student, but I also lived at home. So it was really important. And this to all students, it's important that you actually live on campus if you can. Just the connectivity, just the elimination of some distractions that you have. So I'm in Knoxville, living in Knoxville. My friends are in Knoxville. I stay at home, but I go to the University of Tennessee. So, of course, when I'm away from campus, I'm not cultivating those relationships like I should
with
have.
The parking issues, oh my goodness, on and off every day.
And I'm not even going to date myself because all of that's going on at the University of Tennessee now was not there.
Absolutely.
So I say all of that after my freshman year, I decided, and my parents allowed me to forfeit that 4-year ride. And I was able to transfer to Chattanooga.
Okay.
And I made this decision so last minute. And I am dating myself again. I had to drive my application to Chattanooga there in time because this was pre.
Well, let's be clear. Dating yourself, okay, I wouldn't call it. I would call that straight stick-to-itiveness or grit to get done what you had to get done. So driving all the way to Chattanooga to get your application in, that speaks more volume than it does dating.
Yes. That my application down to the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. I received the letter saying that I was accepted and I was able to transfer. I didn't have housing, but I needed to make the shift. I needed to make the adjustment. But what I did not do, I did not quit. I did not say this is hard, this is tough. Because, of course, like I said, that engineering track was, I knew then what I know now, I would have hung in there, y'all. So hang in there. If you're an engineering student, hang in there.
Ooh, please do.
I transferred and my major became biology. So in my go into health services. Okay. Whether it was being a physical therapy, occupational therapy, I wanted to do something along that lines. Best transition, I thrived. I was able to become part of an illustrious sorority.
Oh, here
that
we
is
go.
Alpha, Kappa Alpha. Separated.
Oh, those pretty girls.
And this
are at it
lipstick
again.
is hot pink. It's hot pink.
Be clear. Be clear.
But I was able to blossom. But again, mind you, I was able to cultivate relationships. I lived on campus. I graduated and ended up graduating on time. So I ended up graduating within the typical for us to graduate into. But after I completed that degree or obtained that degree in biology, it was like, what's next?
Yeah.
Because I decided I want to go back to therapist or do all of that. So I'm like, what I'm going to do with this? So pack up, come back to Knoxville. Come back to the retired educator. So I needed to start looking for a job. I did, I was substitute taught. I did some other things as I do nothing when you living with your parents. When you living with your parents, you can't come back home and just do nothing. But I did substitute teaching. I did some other things. I feel in, mind you, we're talking about a 6-month window here. But of course, I'm applying for jobs, looking for jobs. But I'm like, biology, my personality does not fit in just a lab. You can't.
I would never see you as a biologist, but probably a major and got some good grades in, but take the career. Right there, let's make it multi-potentialite. That might be a T-shirt right there. Multi-potentialite, baby. We're learning about that on the going, baby. Go ahead.
But I'm like, I can't go. I could do the job and do it well, but not my personality.
I don't see that with you.
So, of course, talking to different mentors, talking to different adults that were just kind of pushing me, they were like, this biology degree, and you talked about health services and helping people. Have you thought about going to get your master's? And I was like, Joe and Jackie Gallman said, you can't stay here.
Parents.
And live for free. You need to be doing something. So I knew that if I was in school, that they would get off my back. So I applied for the Master's in Public Health Administration program. So I applied to become for the Master's program at UT and got in. Scholarship, a full ride, living at home. I was a much better student then. But during that time,
you could. Older.
So during that time.
Concentrate a little bit different.
Yeah, during that. I mean, you went to graduate school in the evening. Like, it was after hours because it was really designed for the working class. Right. And I was probably the youngest. And I remember going home one day saying, Mom, like, they're talking about escrow. Like, what is escrow? I had no idea. Like, that's how young I was. But I successfully completed that program, public health education. And then I started working in human services.
Wow.
So I went to the Department of Human Service. I've worked in banking. For CDC, the housing department. I worked for a local utility here, KUB. So that's kind of just been my track. But all of my jobs all relate back to helping people, supporting people, public and community engagement, seeing people be successful.
Well, and because, when you think about the position you have now, and some people will look at a person like yourself who, never looks dated, and you think you were the age you are, especially the way you carry yourself. And I'm just
y'all see me on a good day. This is a good day.
No, this is average for her. Trust me. I've known her a long. The deal is, what I'm saying is, a lot of people would think that you were just pushed into a position like this. They don't understand the journey that you had to go through to be qualified to sell in a position like this. A company like TVA doesn't craft these type positions to get involved with the community if you don't have community relationships. During this whole conversation, every sentence said relationship. Every sentence said, camaraderie. Every sentence said, you're into things, and now you've got a powerful company putting you in a position to help people in situations excel that that spinning in the infancy stages. Let's talk about some of the things that you've done here recently with TVA, and maybe see some things you might want to just pat yourself on the back about.
Well, Well, what I will say, and I just would like to go back to the point of, like you said, you never know how God works. So while I was maybe harping or down on myself through the process, you are absolutely right. All those other jobs prepared me for who I am and where I am now. Right. So very appreciative of it. Appreciative of my current employer, TVA, for the opportunity to allow me to be in this role. Like I said, one of the things I'm excited about is, developing some true direction and guidance around how we show up in the community.
Absolutely.
And I will say, being at TVA, it's about to be 2 years, so I'm very new. Being able to come in, having a great manager, kind of see things from an elevated view and being able to serve the Valley in such a capacity. Like I said, we support contribution. We actually, establish partnerships. We have, a partnership with the Urban League. Mm-hmm. We have a partnership with the Food Bank. We just established a new partnership with the Cal Ripken Foundation, where we installed 27 STEM centers across our region, across our service territory, to support youth in underserved areas. So it is sometimes their first introduction to STEM education.
Yeah, without question. I mean, in STEM, that sometimes doesn't go together at all, so just that whole thought and action of getting an arm to connect those two, served in STEM, that shows a lot of promise.
So absolutely. So being able to do those things, like it's fun, it's rewarding, being able to connect with those partners and even just learn about organizations helps me help them. But also, just like I said, there's not been anything that I can say negative about, especially in this new role. I see it as a blessing, as an opportunity. Prior to TVA, I worked for KUB. I was in the same role at KUB. It was fulfilling. It was rewarding. One thing that I was most proud about working at KUB was to help people, high schoolers, be successful, helping them to kind of chart out where they want to go and what they want to do and be once they grow up, and to identify career. So, like I said, everything has supported who I am and what I'm doing. Excited about it. I do believe just my experience has made me a better employee for TVA. So like I said, still very new in my role at TVA, have been able to do some very rewarding things. One thing that I like most about both organizations is how they show up and support the communities. Right. And me being able to either support that, lead that, makes my job awesome.
Well, see, I think your job is so awesome, and I'm glad you feel that way about your job in New Jersey. And when I was young, there wasn't any that I can recall big companies, reaching out to us inner city youth, trying to show us a way to be successful in life after school, after high school. We had the boys club, and thank Lord for the boys club. I mean, valuable lessons there, and learn athletics there. So, and got my free ride to school. But we didn't have corporations at that time. You're talking about the late 70s, early 80s. It was in 1900s. That's what I compartmentalize. give you an idea how during that time frame. And I'm dating myself. But now it just does my heart so much, warmth, because I see companies, getting a person like yourself that is relatable and seasoned and can understand the community and understand some of his needs to actually, bridge that gap to where, don't count the underserved out. Right. Don't count the underserved out. These people here, deserve a shot, and and it's just a blessing to see that people recognize, they do deserve a shot. And then a person like yourself. And then you tell me about scholarship to UT and transfer to UTC.
I mean, it's a story behind the story, but I mean, like I said, when I look back then, it may have been painful, but when I think about it now, I'm like, thank you, God. That's all I can say, because there is a me. And like I said, I'm able to see clearer
I can see
now.
clearly now.
So yeah, I mean, I'm able to see. Just proud of who I have become and have matured into. So I think it just shows up in everything that I do and everything I'm a part of, whether it is work, or civic, church.
Right.
And that's another thing that we must talk about, that, I mean, where life makes sense for me. So
it's the go in, baby. Go on in,
I
baby.
mean,
Talk about
of quantity in the whole wide world. I do not have any children, but like I said, I'm called to serve. Right. Whether I fight it or be an educator like your mom. I'm like, no, I'm not me. That's not me. I want to be a VJ. Or I want to be, that type. But
and this, not just that. Well, this and that.
but born and raised in the church. I have always served in a church. Those that know me, I have personality. And
no, does anybody see that out there? I mean, put that in the comments. Does she seem strong to you?
I have a strong personality, but my two words for this year,
all right,
are grit plus grace.
Grit and grace.
Grit and grace.
Okay.
So a lot of grit, but self-awareness tells me to extend and give grace. So
that's nice, because you never had a question about. That's for sure. But the grace, boy, that's a beautiful thing,
grit
baby. That's
and
a
grace,
thing.
grit and
That's
grace.
Beautiful.
But I will say, back to the church, something that I am very proud of at our church, I have a called Foundation 101.
Okay.
So if my heart lights up, if my eyes light up, and you can just see my heart go pitter patter, like I am very passionate about particular ministry at the church. Okay. And this ministry is designed for adolescent males in middle and high school.
Okay, but before you go on with the story, what's your
Foster Chapel Baptist Church,
okay,
located at 2101 Alt Road. You can join us on Sunday mornings at 8 a.m.
All right.
For Sunday school, 10:45 for the second service. And we have virtual platforms.
Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yes, absolutely. So this ministry, Foundation 101. Foundation 101 was established in 2016. And basically, it was kind of on that whole Xavier Dobson era.
Okay.
And it was kind of what are we going to do to support our young men and see them be successful Christian men.
Wow.
And as a result of that, established one. Shout out to our Pastor Joseph Talbert. But with that being said, this ministry is designed to engage, equip, expose, and empower successful, productive Christian men.
Wow.
So with that being said, it is not your traditional Sunday. We want to explore every facet of what it takes for a young man to become a productive adolescent. So whether it is financial literacy, whether it is hygiene, we know mental health is a big deal.
Yes, absolutely.
Attitude. So we know that the needs are great, and our church has allowed me to operate in this lane to actually execute, facilitate, and just drive this ministry.
How many young men have you served in this ministry so far?
So in totality, I do not know the number in totality. We intentionally meet once and sometimes twice a month. Wow. So we average about 25 to 30 males per session.
deal.
That is a big dish, a big deal. This ministry is open for not just our church members, but it's open to the community. So anyone who is interested, there's not a wait list. You don't have to have a certain GPA. Like, there are no requirements. All we need for you is so proud of.
What are the age requirements?
So it is middle and high school. So you have to be in 6th through the 12th grade.
I just graduated.
6th through 12th grade. 6th to 12th. So, I mean, parents, send your child.
Foster Chapel.
Again, we are here as part of the village to just support our young men. Seeing our African American males, but all males be successful. Like I said, I'm the best auntie in the whole wide world. I have 4 nephews that I was directly connected to coming up. I saw the mistakes that we made.
Right.
But I also saw the opportunities and just what it means. It matters to have a support system. Things could have been worse. Things, were great, but also just realizing, like, males, I mean, they need our support. They need, like, the layers of support, the village. I mean, like, everyone just showing up to support them.
And it's not a cry for sympathy. It is a cry for help. It's just the fact of the way things have gone over the years that, into a par level of opportunity when you're a young African American male in the underserved communities, and when the church toward them, and it's not neglected. See, what people understand a lot of times, as being a young African American male at one time, people slap their hand down when someone's trying to help you. The fact you meet twice and you got a turnout of 25 young men coming, that's awesome. They're dealing with their other friends saying, "Are you going to church, man? It ain't Sunday. Oh man, you need to come on with us, play basketball or do whatever, this, that, and the third." And and as a young man, I remember myself falling victim to those different, I guess, peer pressure moments when different organizations may have, which was the Boy Scouts, even though trying to. And you say no because something that's less priority in life is more priority in your life at the time. And 25 young men to other than a Sunday it's a big deal. I mean,
it's a very big deal. And so we take it seriously.
You got 4 nephews that are connected through this. So you got 4 by blood. How many nephews do you have now with this ministry? I mean, your Christmas list is long, baby. It's longer than those regular.
They know that I care. I love through tough love, but I love through unconditional love as well. But yeah, my family list extended. And that is really the space where I want to show up. That's the space where I really want to dig in. I've been asked, well, why not young ladies? And I am a young lady. I mean, and I had people pour into me and women to pour into me. But right now, where I'm being led is to support our young. And I do not want to divide focus. Like I want to go in full in, because I do know that on the backside of this, somebody's going to be pleased. If we can touch one, but my goal is to touch all.
Absolutely.
Then we've done our job.
And the blessing is you definitely fell on your heart. So your heart is with me. And God will lead somebody else's heart to take care of that make a vessel like that for women. So, and so I know that's coming. Yes. Well, here to go in, Miss Gorman.
The go in.
The go.
Do we have a handshake or a dance move or
give me some bang. That's what I need, a fist.
No, we need like one of them.
I tell you what, when you come, we'll have about that. We'll get it done. But you got to tell me what part music played in your life during your journey, your evolution, even now as you live today. How was that?
Oh my God. I cannot remember a time in my life where I was not exposed to music. Maybe a degree as you, but my dad loved music. And of course, he had a component
system. And big young, you had a dad or uncle that had a component system. You were going to their house because they got a component system. Google it.
But I just remember just the good energy that came around music, whether it was, cleaning up on Saturdays or just worship on Sunday mornings. Like music has always been there. Ooh. I had a grandmother who loved Millie Jackson, and honey, Millie Jackson, y'all gotta listen to some of Millie Jackson's music. But
she said a lot.
so music has played a vital role. I mean, I sing of course, I'm a multi-potentialite. Like, I can do some of everything.
That's a T-shirt if I ever see one. Multi-potentialite. I like
it's
that.
Hard. Because you can't focus in on just one thing.
But the potential light, the word says it all. You're shining light in all that you do, baby. See, do. I like the light, baby. Okay.
That's so you. That is so you.
I mean, all I can be is me.
But when you think about music, like I can hear a certain song and it takes me back to a time and place. And some of it, vast majority of it has been great.
Yeah.
And then some of it is like, ooh. But like music is universal. Like it does the body good. Like people can rally around music. So for me, like of music, I love the chorus and the hook.
And I mean, the beat, chorus, and hook always gets me.
I mean,
always
I'm
gets
a go in.
me.
So, growing up like New Edition, I wanted to travel with them all around the world.
Well, you're not by yourself. Everybody during our era, our time of ism, Edition was the new, and they're still rocking now.
Yeah.
They're getting it on now. And what I like about New Edition, and this is what I just shared the story with somebody. The stories you tell about New Edition, they have to have receipts because that group is still alive and together.
Hey.
You better have receipts. See, some of these other these American iconic groups that these stories come out about, not all of them are living, so some things can be skewed. If you try to cats, they can come see you. They're all still living and still together.
And they have earned their stripes. They are proven and have earned their stripes.
The story of those who are my age and grew up with them cats, those stories, if you ever want to get involved and understand what can happen if you see it through.
Yes.
I mean, those brothers, they got a story that is motivation for everyone that wants to complete their dream.
That's right.
All six of them. And but just tell me more about music. Tell me what music does to Madam Gong.
I mean, so music does the body good. So when I think about just my church roots, my church background, and waking up, listening to gospel favorites and songs, I mean, Great Is Thy Faithfulness is one of my favorites. And I remember just saying, if we sing another hymnal, like, can we not do some of the contemporary, some of the more better words, gospel songs? Like, why can't we do that? But when you've lived and you've gone through some things, honey, you will be looking for an old hymnal book. You don't want to look it up on YouTube, but you don't want to download it on a music pod or app or anything like that. But you're looking for a hymnal book. But so like just the rich history and just kind of what the words mean or just kind of come to life through song and chorus and all that. Like all of that matters, but it means so much.
When you say gospel genre?
So gospel is one of my favorites. I love gospel, but I'm a
Multi shining light.
I like gospel and I like trap just as much.
What's trap? It's trap that things in the underserved situations? What is, tell me about
But
the
I'm not
track?
listening to the words. I'm just listening to the beat. I'm not listening to the words. I'm just listening.
Sweetie, you already let it out the bag. You got your master's. You graduated from college. The beat and the hook probably drew you in, but you're not listening to a song. Oh, watch out now! Don't mess with it. It's serious.
So I would say not necessarily that I have a favorite. So whether it's a favorite song, like it doesn't matter. Like if it sounds good, if it appeals to me and feeds me, then I like it. So it could be country, folklore.
Country songs I like.
It could be
Yeah.
R&B. It could be gospel. So I don't want to limit myself by saying I have a favorite, but I can
Multi-potentialite.
I can appreciate all music.
She appreciates all music.
Yes, I want to be an MC Hammer dancer too.
Hammer, don't hurt him. Don't hurt him, baby.
But like my parents had a different track for me. They wanted me to go to college.
Or they wouldn't let you wear the baggy pants.
Thanks, Mom and Dad. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know that we would know life without people sound.
Yes. Life would be so much harder because I tell people, you know, no matter what mood you're in, you can find a song that can get you.
Yeah.
You can find a song. And it's amazing. Everybody knows me. I mean, those of you that do, especially the ones that know me close, I'm a hip hop fiend. I just daptite because I grew up on that.
So what's your favorite R&B song?
My favorite R&B song, I don't know if I got one song, but I know Shadow by Atlantic Starr and Saturday Love by Alexander O'Neal and Sherelle.
Okay.
Yeah, those are mine. Those are my go-to. And then you got ones that don't hit like you got things. But my favorite song of all time, and people always raise their eyebrows when I say this, is still "Optimistic" by Sounds of Blackness.
Okay.
That's my go-to.
Yes.
That's a good song. And it brings me back from if I'm too high or too low, I can come back to zero and get ready to your head to the sky. You can always win. Let's go. Come on now. And so and people raise their eyebrow when I say that, but it's the truth. That's my favorite time. And and I tell people when I hear music, even from my mother when we were young, the '60s, to even music right now. It's story inside of a song. Always. So if it's hip hop, country, trap, R&B, rock and roll, there's a story in the song, and you can get a song. And know what's amazing about songs, even the ones they try to qualify as even gangster, always got a story telling you about a good ending.
Come on.
It's never about the bad stuff. Yeah. And people, put that when music first came out, and I was, I've been around when I'm old enough to know when it first dropped. It was called reality rap.
Okay.
Some people who had the memory when it was very limited back then called it gangster rap, and it stuck. And then when they called it gangster rap, it even got hotter. So
imagine that. Imagine that.
So, it's just, and the stories, if you listen to the stories, and I tell everybody, much as they hate to give these guys credit, NWA might have saying on their first album on a lot of different songs. Yeah. I mean, one song that spoke about law enforcement, all you heard was the hook. And, and the hook brings you into the song. But if you listen to the words.
Yes, you gotta dig deeper.
The words tell you why they got to the hook. Yeah. Then it took a movie almost 30 years later to show you why they wrote that song. And then you finally say, oh. Yeah. See what I'm saying? It's amazing how music is has helped people, it's helped the world, and to me, in my opinion, it keeps the world going around.
Absolutely.
And that's why I had to ask you, even all your things that you're doing and awesome things with the church and with your position at TVA. How do you know how music touched you?
Yeah, music is necessary about marketing. Necessary. I mean, I could be laying in my bed and not facing or looking at the TV, but I could hear a song. And I'm like, that's a Kroger commercial. Wait.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm drawn in, I'm tuned in. Think about the anthems where you can mobilize and bring all together. So whether it is, the Tennessee anthem or I won't say that word because we're in Tennessee, but in songs like Rocky Top, like everybody knows something or a part of that song. And in that moment, we're unified as we're singing. So I think universal, it unifies, it's healing. It's therapeutic.
Oh, definitely therapeutic. Definitely therapeutic. Music is healing and therapeutic. Those are the two things that they are the most of.
I go harder and longer exercising, listening to the right music.
Come on. Come on.
I can drive to the right music.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
But the only thing that I cannot do.
Talk to me.
I can't study and read music. So those who are gifted, or I can't focus in on something and concentrate, because I'm too busy trying to sing the song.
Now, I used to be able to do that. In my older age, I can't.
Yeah,
music exams when I was in college. I would listen to music and study, and I remember that stuff. I used to be able to, for some reason, put the lyrics together with the lesson, and then lyrics while I'm taking the test. I can't do it now. Oh my God, bring it back. But and that's how I got through a lot of my harder classes in college. It's definitely how I got through B school. But that's what I tell people. If you don't like a certain genre of music, you don't have to listen to it.
No, you don't.
To it. You know what I mean? If you don't like it, don't listen. But if you give it a listen, give it a fair listen. Don't be judgmental. Because a song, it's amazing how it always comes to a positive ending.
Oh, absolutely.
There's always a positive point in it. Even through the journey, through the beginning of the record to the end of the record, as they go through the peaks and valleys of it, at the end of the day, when it finds that last verse, it's going to be like, It's amazing how that happens. And, when some music gets talked about and gets judged unfairly, and if you give it a shot, a decent, fair shot of a good listen, you'd be surprised how much you can learn even through music. Because I've learned a lot from music. I didn't know what Crystal was.
Right.
I didn't know.
I had to Google Wraith. What's a Wraith?
What's a Wraith? I didn't know what a Wraith. I didn't know what a Bentley is. What's that? What design is that? I can't even spell that. You learn, and those are jokes, but you really didn't know those things were until they started talking about them. They didn't have an interest in them until artists I followed started speaking about them to find out what they were.
Yeah. So music educates as well as keeps us relevant.
Absolutely.
So
it enlightens.
Listening to music now, I'm like, oh, okay. I know what that means now.
Yeah.
All right. So as I'm working with youth, as I am engaging or just impacting, I think that just being familiar with all things, especially music, is important.
Absolutely. Because when you're working with young people, their mind hasn't developed to the adult stages yet. So sometimes they can get hooked inside the journey of the song versus the end result and what the song, the point is trying to get across. And so some things are explained in some songs that aren't always a bright light. And then you're loving that side that doesn't. And then you go out and you think that's all it is to the song, but it's not.
It's not.
And with youth, it becomes impactful to them because they think, well, that's cool. We didn't hear the whole song, and you didn't listen to the whole lyric. And and sometimes you can't. I tell people you can't always punish young ones as if you were an adult because they haven't had enough life underneath their wings, no wind underneath their wings to understand what they're listening to. So it's our job to express. So
Absolutely.
as a person involved with youth, and I'm speaking to everyone across the world that might see this, get into the music they're listening to. Get into it.
Get into
Find
it.
guys are saying, these ladies are saying, what these artists are saying, whether I don't care what genre it is. It's different than when you were young.
Yeah. And there's always a story behind the story.
Yeah.
And you said that. So digging deeper, but getting some of the background, getting some of the history around either the song, the artist, what was going on in their life, in the world around that time, kind of cues you into what the song is really about, the feeling behind it. It's always telling, but at the end of the song, I think that there is something positive, enlightening, through it.
I've listened to a lot of songs, and I'm up in the millions, candidly speaking. And maybe I can count on one hand that didn't have a bright light at the end of it. Yeah. On one hand. And I don't know if I can fulfill that whole hand, all 5 fingers, I just got 5. Yeah, I just got 5 fingers. But, it's amazing. Well, we went in.
Woo!
We went in.
I thank you. I appreciate you for the invite. And just
happy you could make it. Happy you could make it. Appreciate you coming, Trina. Trina Goldman here on the Go In with your boy DJ Sterl The Pearl. And I'll holla at you.